Hey, it's Jamie, and today we're rehashing 1 Kings 18 to 19. Today's passages are such a roller coaster ride. Let's get right into it. Today we're reading about Obadiah and the prophet Elijah. Obadiah was a devout follower of God, yet he worked as a palace administrator for King Ahab, who vehemently was a worshiper of Baal, I don't know. From his position, Obadiah was able to save 100 prophets of God from Jezabel's efforts to exterminate them, which is a pretty incredible feat on its own. Obadiah used his station in life to serve the Lord, and there is a lesson in here for us to do the same. Even if you're working at a filling station, we can always find ways to serve our Lord. But we can't mull that one over, because we've done it already, and there's so much more to go through today. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, you can always worship. That's my point right there. Okay, so when Obadiah brings King Ahab to Elijah, Ahab calls Elijah the troubler of Israel for announcing God's judgment on the king's sin. Elijah was all like, nah, man, you ain't gaslighting me. I know who my God is, bud, and he no likey your behavior. So he tells the king to wrangle up his 450 prophets that he and his wife indulge in and meet at the top of Mount Carmel. And then tells the people, you build an altar with a bull and get your God to set it on fire, and I'll do the same. Whoever gets their altar on fire first is praying to the right God. Capiche, capiche. Agree, agree. So of course we know how this plays out. The people dance around and slash themselves with swords all day and nothing happens. Elijah prays his little butt off, and of course his altar burns right up into this intense power struggle of the last prophet of the Lord in northern Israel and the 450 prophets of Baal. He tells Ahab to seize the prophets and to hurry home because rain is coming, and it does. So Ahab jets home, spills the day's events to the wife, tells her the 450 prophets are all dead, and she sends a note to Elijah basically saying, one of us is dying tomorrow, Elijah, me or you. So Elijah took off in fear. Even after he had such incredible success, I find that a little strange. Further, he gets depressed, hiding in this cave, convinced that he's failed the Lord, and that the Lord has left Israel for good and been replaced with Baal, Satan, whoever. The Lord comes to him in a tender moment and simply says, what are you doing, Elijah? Go back the way you came, appoint a new king and another prophet. And the Lord reminds him that he hasn't failed. In fact, the Lord has reserved 7,000 people from the coming destruction to Israel. For this 7,000 has not bowed down to Baal. He tells him that the believers and this new prophet Elisha that he has to anoint will take care of any leftover Baal worshippers. Can you imagine the huge exhale Elijah must have had after this? How many of us have had that Elijah moment where we feel like everything sucks, nothing's going right, and we're so discouraged that we forget about the one guy that can turn it all around? Elijah thought the culture war was over and that the side of righteousness had lost and the demon worshippers had won despite him killing off 450 false prophets. But God said, not so fast, buddy. I have reserved 7,000 who are still faithful to me. It may seem today that those rejecting God have won. It really does, actually. But God's answer to us is, not so fast, baby. I have reserved those who are faithful to me. And those whom he has reserved are a lot more than 7,000 today, thanks to prophets like Elijah. Tomorrow we're going to be diving into 1 Kings chapter 20 to 22, if you want to read ahead. I hope you have a blessed day. Please comment to spread the word, and don't forget to say your prayers. Didn't do the shoulder thing that time. Yay!
This is the Bible in a Year theme song.